How's it going, BMW fans? Welcome back to BMW Review. Today we are going to be going over a super broad topic, and that is how to use a BMW properly. So for this video, we're going to be going over all the basics that you need to know about BMWs. Now, if you yourself have had a BMW for quite a long time, you probably more likely than not know everything that we're going to be covering in this video. But if you are somebody who is completely brand new to the brand of BMW, this is going to be something that you would definitely want to stay in tune for. Also, if you guys have not already seen it, we do have a partnership with Amazon, and we are Amazon affiliates and Amazon influencers. So we do have our own Amazon store that has all the coolest BMW accessories that you must check out for your BMW as well. So definitely make sure you check out the link that is located at the bottom of the video as soon as you are done watching the video. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So again, for this video, we're going to be going over all the basics about BMW. I'm going to be going over the ways that you should set up your BMW, the first things that you need to do as soon as you get your vehicle, and how you should be using your BMW every single day. So as soon as you get your BMW, or as soon as you even sit down within the car, the first thing you must set up is the My BMW app. The reason why you must have the My BMW app, things like checking your vehicle services, how much gas your vehicle has, you can lock and unlock the vehicle from wherever you are. The vehicle can also let you know if the window is open. The app now is also used for software updates, so that is going to be a major one as well if you plan on keeping your BMW up to date with the latest software. You can also use the app to make financial payments and even call roadside assistance. These are just going to be some of the reasons why you must get the app. I'm still surprised that many customers or clients still do not have the app. It is going to be super crucial that you must set this up. So that should be the first thing that you set up as soon as you get your BMW. The next thing, as you're setting up the app, the other thing that you must set up and use is going to be located right inside the main menu. So this top little box over here, you're going to click on that. You're going to see this thing called BMW ID. Now you're going to go into BMW ID whenever you are setting up the app, because whenever you are setting up the app, you're going to go into right over here where it says login via My BMW app. And then once you do that, you're going to see a QR code that popped up there, and that QR code is what you will scan with your phone camera, and then just follow the instructions after that. And then before you know it, you're going to have a BMW ID set up. Now, the biggest mistake that a lot of people do, and I still continue to see this, is that people are not using their BMW ID. A lot of the times they are still using their guest profile, and that is what you don't want to do, because there is going to be a good chance that you lose all your settings. And if you do use your guest profile, a lot of the settings that you do have, they're not going to be saved, and then you're going to see yourself wasting a ton of time trying to readjust your features or readjust your seating. So definitely make sure that as soon as you get into your vehicle, set up your BMW ID for each person that is going to be using the vehicle. Again, each person can have their own username and password. And then whenever you get into your vehicle with your key, because the BMW ID does get stored to the key, you should see your name right up there as well. And then whenever you do, your settings will be adjusted accordingly to whatever you have set them to. So definitely make sure you are using a BMW ID. Very, very important. And it will save you tons of issues down the road. Now, again, if you're new to BMWs, you're going to be questioning the whole software system or the whole operating system. BMW currently has two different operating systems. They are known as the iDrive 7 and they are known as the iDrive 8, which is the one that we are looking at right over here. This is iDrive 8. You can tell that it's iDrive 8 because it has the cool curved display along with a completely different layout. There is going to be an update that is going to be going into iDrive 8.5, which is going to include some pretty cool changes, so definitely stay tuned for that. We're going to be doing a review on that as well. But yes, iDrive 7 is going to be the last generation operating system that is going to be starting to disappear within the next couple of years. And then now we're going to be seeing the brand new iDrive 8 system, which has its pros and cons. The biggest one I will say is many do have the issue that there are no physical climate control buttons. If you wanted to use your climate control for your new iDrive 8 system, you'd have to go into this menu right over here called Climate Menu. Once you go into Climate Menu, this is where you're going to see everything, including your heated steering wheel, your heated seats, AC seats, fan speeds. Now, the best way to use your climate control, which I do see a lot of mistakes on how this system is being used, is that in my opinion, the best way to use it is to simply just keep it on auto. And then all you would have to do is to just control the temperature that you see right over here. This temperature controller is going to be in every single screen that you'd be going on. All you would have to do is simply just go like this, because if you go into climate menu, you'd have to go into here. And so if you did not have your climate control on auto, it is going to be something that's very, very annoying and very, very dangerous as well, because then you'd have to go into here and then you would have to adjust your fan speed and directionals manually. And that, in my opinion, is not really safe to do while you're driving. So again, the best way to use it keep it in auto. You can also keep it in sync as well if you're all by yourself, and just adjust the temperature right over here. Next up is going to be a very important one, and that is going to go to BMW Voice Commands. We did do a separate video on this. If you did want to see it, definitely check out this video that is on our channel. A lot of the broad topics that we are going to be covering in this video do also have their own separate videos. So if you did want to go into depth with things like the climate control, you could also do that as well. The videos are all on the channel, so definitely check those out if you wanted to learn more. But yes, going back to voice command. So voice command is very powerful. Again, if you don't already know, there are two ways to use this if you're connected to Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. The way number one that you would use it is if you do a quick click. The first way that you could use it is if you do a quick click. Now, if you do that, you're going to see your BMW personal assistant pop up, and that is basically just a fancy way of saying your BMW voice command. The other way to use it is if you hold it down. Now, if you hold it down, and if my phone was connected to Apple CarPlay, then Siri or Google Assistant would pop up on the screen. Then I would tell Siri or Google Assistant to make phone calls. If you try to use your BMW voice command to do that, it is not going to work because phone is connected to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, so all your contacts are going to be on those systems and not the BMW system. So then you might be wondering what the BMW voice command is used for then. Well, again, the BMW voice command is just a quick press, and then you're going to hear a beep, and then you can say your command. BMW voice command can control pretty much every little thing within the car these days, it seems. You could even tell it to roll down the window, you could tell it to adjust the temperature, and then you could even talk to it, and then you could say, hey BMW, I'm cold, and then it could just make adjustments all by itself. You can also tell it to turn on the heated steering wheel, change the ambient lighting within the car by saying change ambient lighting to blue. You could also use it to turn on and off the head-up display. Again, so many different ways to use that. We do have a separate video on that, so check that out if you wanted to. If you are new to BMWs, you definitely want to use the voice command because it will save you a lot more physical touches on the screen, which is also going to be a lot more safe. Next up, BMW did change the way that their shifters are looking and functioning. Now, the old generation of BMW shifters used to look like this, but now you're going to see a really cool simplistic design that looks like this. So the way that you would use the shifter is, of course, yes, you have your on and off button here. The shifter, or lever I should say, is going to be the way that you can change gears, and the way that you're going to park is that you're going to see a button right here called park. So the emergency brake and the way you park your vehicle is going to be the same button, so that is something to remember. Also, cool trick that I would recommend using with these new shifters is that if you were in drive or if you were in reverse, all you would have to do as soon as you stop the car is turn off the engine, and then all by itself the shifter will shift into park all by itself as well. So definitely use that whenever you come to a stop. It is going to save you a step from hitting park and then turning off the car. You literally could just turn off the car while the vehicle is in reverse or drive, and then it will just go into park all by itself. So definitely use that. Now, depending on which BMW you have, you're going to see this D/B here, or you might see a D/S, or you might even see a D/L. Right now, the 2023 X ones, the brand new redesigned ones, you're going to see D/L. And if you were to go down one more time, that L that you would see, if your BMW has a D/S, which is going to be very, very popular, more likely than not, your BMW is going to have the D/S. If you go into that S mode, the vehicle will go into a sport transmission mode, which will simply just shift the gears of the transmission more aggressively. Also, if you were to have paddle shifters behind your steering wheel, you can also use that to go into manual mode and then shift your car just like a manual car as well. Some BMW electric vehicles, the EV vehicles, are going to have D/B. Now, B that we have here, my guess is that the B stands for brake regeneration, because this is going to be a mode that can have the vehicle go into as one pedal mode. It would work a lot like the Teslas do. You can simply just keep your foot on this the whole time, and then as soon as you let off the accelerator, the vehicle will also go into a brake regeneration mode and slowly come to a stop in that one pedal mode. So it's very, very useful for that. I personally would use the B mode probably all the time because it makes life a lot more easy by simply keeping your foot on the accelerator the whole time. And yes, if you do have to do a quicker stop, you can always stop the car as well. But yes, just to summarize myself, if you go into that B mode, it activates the one pedal mode, which again is for EV vehicles. And then you can simply just keep your foot on that accelerator the whole time. And then if you let off the accelerator, the BMW will come to a stop. And then of course, if you get on the accelerator, the vehicle will begin to go. The new BMW Key Fob. Now, the last generation BMW Key Fobs did used to look like this, but now they have this brand new one, and depending on what type of vehicle or what type of BMW you have, your key design might look just a little bit different. Today we're sitting in a BMW iX M60, and because this is an M vehicle, we're going to get this really cool design that we have here. Regardless, your buttons are going to be exactly the same for any new BMW that has this remote, of course, we have our lock button right over here. You're gonna see this 3X here. It pertains to remote engine start. If your vehicle has remote engine start, if you click on this 3 times, 1, 2, 3, that is gonna be how you do remote engine start. Of course, we have our unlock, we have our tailgate, and we have our panic alarm here. Also, if you look back here, there is gonna be a button that you can push in. So if you push in that button, you can actually find the manual key that is located here. Now, the last generation BMW keys did make this very, very accessible, but now I'm not sure why they made it very, very difficult. But this is the manual key that you can use to get into your vehicle. Also, again, if your key fob was dead, you can still place it back here on the back right side and then go ahead and start your car, and then the vehicle will still start even though this key fob is dead. But yes, this is going to be the new style key fob. If you wanted to know more tricks on the BMW key fob, check out one of our key fob videos that are taking off really well. It is going to be using the old style key fob, but the functions are exactly the same. If you didn't know, there are about 15 to 20 different functions that this key fob can do, so definitely check out that video because you're going to learn a lot from that as well. Next up is going to be our lighting controls, the headlight controls. Now, for the new style BMWs, the EV vehicles as well, you're going to see this new style of headlight controls. It's a lot more simple, to be honest. The only thing that you have to worry about is just making sure that this green light for auto is on. If you do that, then you can just set it and forget it. You're going to wonder what this guy is, and that simply just brings up the lighting menu. If I were to press this and then look at the screen, you're going to see our lighting menu pop up here. Now, the biggest thing on why I would be pushing that is to make sure that this guy right here is on automatic high beam. By default, it is off, but I would highly recommend that you push that button and you make sure that this guy is on, because at nighttime, your headlights or your high beams will turn on and turn off all by themselves, depending if a vehicle is nearby you or in front of you. Very, very convenient. Definitely make sure you have that on. Another basic function to go over is going to be the wipers. Now for some new BMW clients, this can be a little bit weird, but the biggest thing that you need to worry about is noting the fact that if you do one push up, it turns on this green light, which makes the wipers go into its auto mode. Then if you go past that, then it just goes into its manual mode, as you can see. And then whenever you are set to the auto mode, this scrolling knob here is to simply control the speed of the wipers, or the sensitivity, you could say. For your rear wiper, if you have a BMW SUV, you can just twist this one time and then that simply turns on your rear wiper. And then if I were to twist it even more on this edge, then it would shoot fluid way back there as well to clean the glass. Again, lighting and wipers, pretty straightforward, pretty basic. Next up, we can go over the Bluetooth or Apple CarPlay or Android Auto functionality within the system here. Now, I would say that 90% of clients, they all use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. The way that you're going to set that up is that you're going to go into this function right here called mobile devices. Once you go into mobile devices, you're going to see this option right up there called connect new device. And then once you click on that, you're going to see this screen pop up here. And then this is the part where you'd go into your Bluetooth settings on your phone, and then you would use your phone to the vehicle. Going into that Bluetooth menu will also give you the option to enable Apple CarPlay or Android Auto as well. So for all 3 of those functions, you're going to go do it the same way. BMW Services. Now, many of you are going to question how often they have to service their BMW or when their services are going to be due. For that, again, if you have iDrive 8, you're going to go into this little menu guy right over here, and then you're going to go into this app right over here called Live Vehicle. Once you go into Live Vehicle, you're going to see this option right down here called Required Services. Again, we're in the EV car, so this may look a little bit different compared to your usual service requirements, but you can see here that the vehicle will estimate whenever your next service is going to be due. If you have a BMW gas powered vehicle, your oil changes are going to be roughly every 8,000 to 10,000 miles, which is quite a bit. If you have a EV vehicle, you can see that the services are here as well. They are not going to be due for a while. So again, that's where you can go to check your BMW services. The other place you could go is if you go into the My BMW app. You can click on your vehicle and then you can click on services, and then you can also see what type of services are going to be due. Also, a really cool feature with the app that I have not mentioned before is that whenever your vehicle is due for a service, the app will actually notify you, letting you know or asking you if you would like to schedule an appointment with your closest service team in order to get that oil change done or any service you may be due for. Another reason why you should have the app. Next up has to do with charging. Now, we are going into a phase where all the vehicles are going to be turning into EV vehicles, but many will question about BMW charging. Now, if you wanted more details on this, again, we have a video for this one as well, so definitely check that out. It is called BMW Charging 101, where we go way in depth with this. But with charging, if you do get a BMW EV vehicle, you're going to have a flexible fast charger that looks like this come with your BMW. And also the biggest thing that you'd want to check for is once you go into the menu screen right over here, you want to go into charging. There's going to be one option that you definitely should watch out for. For the most part, everything is set the way it is, but a lot of the times this charging target screen right over here, you're going to see that this is usually set to 100%, which is not where you want to keep it. The reason being is because if you do charge your BMW EV vehicle to 100% every single day, it is going to hurt the life of the battery. So BMW recommends that you keep it at 80%. If you do see that is up to 100%, definitely drop that down to about 80%, and that is going to be where you want to keep your target. Again, that is going to be where you want to keep it for your day-to-day drives. If you do plan on going on a long trip, it is completely fine to go up to 100% in situations like that. But again, for the most part, just keep it at a maximum of 80 and then you'll be good to go. Next up, we have the BMW controller. And I know that the sunlight is making this really hard to see, especially in this BMW iX. The way that this controller works is going to be a few different ways. Of course, you can turn this controller clockwise and counterclockwise to control the entire screen. Not only that, you can push down on it to select whatever you're trying to select. And one of the biggest things to mention is that you can tilt this guy as well, or push it to the sides. So some reasons why you might tilt the controller is simply because if you see this section of the screen here, say for example, you're trying to jump over to this little column right over here. If you were to continuously just rotate the controller, your cursor on the screen is not going to be able to jump over to that left side. So what you have to do is do a tilt or a push. If I push it from the side, just like this, you can see that the cursor now is going to be on this left column here. You can do that to jump columns on the screen, and then you can continue to rotate this dial to get to wherever you want to go. Not only can you tilt it from left to right, but if your vehicle does have the iDrive 8, if you're on the home screen and if you push it from the bottom going up, you're going to see a cool menu pop up here. And now BMW presets do still exist. They are known as shortcuts now. So any setting within the vehicle or within the iDrive system, say for example, radio stations, or even certain settings within the vehicle, you can click and hold that setting and then you can add it to a shortcut, and then you're going to see that shortcut pop up right up here. Again, two different ways that you can access that is if you're in the home screen right over here, you can push from the bottom up and then you're going to see the menu. The other thing you could do with your hand is if you swipe it from the top going down to the bottom. That is how you can access your shortcuts menu. Also, to touch up the buttons that are located around the controller, again, this is really hard to see, so I do apologize, but you can see that BMW controllers also have these 3 buttons located right on top as well. We have a home button here that brings us to the home screen. We have a media button that brings us to whatever media is playing. Telephone goes to your phone, and of course nav goes to your map. And of course, famously, we have a back button that is located right over here. That is very convenient to use every single time you're using this controller. Volume knob, of course, cool little trick. If you push this down for about 30 seconds, you can reboot the iDrive system, which does help a lot. Say for example, if the screen was frozen or if you had a hard time trying to connect your phone, you can use that. It works for every BMW these days, so definitely utilize that. BMWs used to have sport, comfort, and eco mode. That does still exist. Now in the new controllers, they do have this function right down here called My Modes. So if you click on My Modes, you're gonna see right over here where it has your different drive modes located right over here. You have your personal mode, which is another way of saying comfort. You also have your sport mode, efficient mode to save gas, and you have these really cool looking ones that are right down here. So definitely play around with those. You can change the whole vibe or mood within the vehicle. Again, everyone, these are just BMW basics. If you are a really advanced BMW person, you may have already known about all this, but if you are somebody who is completely new to BMWs, this is going to be something that may help you. Not only that, you can also ask me questions right down below as well, and I'd be more than happy to answer those questions. But yes, these were the basics. Also, definitely check out our Amazon store. You can find some really cool BMW accessories there. The link for that, again, is right down below. Take care and stay tuned for the next one.